to Fandom's Log, the splash page.
Sorry that it's been so long.
It's just stuff's happened.
Yeah.
So
We haven't got into logistics yet.
this is the supposedly weekly genre game show. Well,
Regular.
Let's make it regular. The regular show where we talk about what's going on in the worlds of comics, movies, TV shows, and games.
But like a bowel movement. Rather regular.
I'm your king, because this is what Dan wants to play into the kingdom aspect. So I'm your king, otherwise your host.
Hail!
Ewen, the King Patterson, I guess. And then right next to me is Sam, the Sound Lord Glover.
Yes, Lord of Soundshire.
So, let's just jump into this then. So, starting at number 1, we've got Zack Snyder leaving the Justice League.
Which happened a while ago.
Yeah, this happened a while ago.
We did technically record this, but then I accidentally basically drowned the microphone. So I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was not nice. So, let's just go over very briefly what's happened. Zack's leaving the Justice League after his family tragedy.
Yeah.
His daughter passed away, unfortunately, and now Joss Whedon is taking over. So
and now they're doing 2 months worth of reshoots, apparently.
Yeah.
Which 2 months is quite a long... Usually a reshoot is, we'll pick up this shot, we'll pick up that shot, takes about a week. But this is a whole sequence, or there's a whole major plot point being rewritten, which is rather interesting.
Well, let's not get too worried about the fact that they're going back for reshoots, because Rogue One had notorious reshoots where they reshot like 40 to 50% of the film.
Oh, really?
So, and look how that turned out.
Okay, that's fine.
The way that I've heard Kevin Feige over at Marvel describe it is, you don't know what kind of film you're making until you're in the editing bay. And, well, when the film all comes together, you might find, we need to have a stronger moment with Black Widow. We need to have a stronger moment with Captain America. Let's go improve these moments. So that is all that really is happening here, making everything stronger. So, yeah, I wouldn't read too much into it.
Oh, that's all right then. That's all right. I'm intrigued because it seems to me that it's because we've got a different director. Different directors come in the edit and gone, okay, in order to make this film work, I need to do this, that, the other. So it seems that it could be a good thing, but it could be basically it's becoming more and more Avengers-y, which is I like. I really like. Don't get me wrong, that'd be really cool, especially since a lot of the footage of Superman is kind of saturation gone from 50% to 100%.
I think. From what I've been heard, is that these are all things that Zack Snyder wanted to do before he left. It's just...
I can imagine that Joss Whedon is pretty much on the phone nearly every day going, with Zack Snyder.
Zack, how's this? Do you like this? Yeah, Joss, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Just, you do it. But let's bear in mind that it's a very difficult time for Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
So, and his wife, Deborah.
Yeah.
So I think we've reached as far as we can on that topic.
Yes. Mummy!
So let's jump on to The Mummy.
Yes.
So that was swiftly buried last on its opening weekend by Wonder Woman in its second weekend. So does this mean that the Dark Universe, as Universal's calling it, is going to be fizzled out, or will it find a way to resurrect? What do you think?
It did technically started with Dracula, the Dracula one.
They kind of disavowed that now, though, haven't they?
Yeah, a little bit.
So, because it wasn't
good enough. But this is arguably the same quality as the last one, which causes a problem.
Yeah, but I can't even say they've gone for good name quality talent.
No.
Because, well, they have gone for talent. It's just talent will only get you so far.
Yeah. And the thing is with this, the whole point of these dark stories is they're meant to be horrible. They're meant to be scary. The original of these were frightening, terrifying, and gripping. These are action sequences. And these aren't action characters. Don't make them an action characters. Make it you can make, for example, take Game of Thrones or something. That's got action in it, but it's horrible. It's disturbing. It's gripping. That's what this should be. They should be going, let's make a Game of Thrones-esque universe. Not Game of Thrones-esque, because we don't want political intrigue with Jekyll and Hyde. That'd be ridiculous. But they shouldn't be trying to go for Marvel. Don't compete with Marvel. They do that well. Do your own thing.
Yeah.
And it's just disappointing me. Because
Yeah.
I liked Brendan Fraser's The Mummy. That was a good, because it was frightening and silly, that they had the right tone for the film it wanted to make. And the scary bits felt scary, but Brendan Fraser made it light again, which balanced it out.
I want them to focus up on what they want to do.
Yeah.
And, like, I think we need a proper person to kind of manage the whole thing. What you've got quite a lot of the time with things like Warner Brothers and their DC universe, and you've got with these guys and their universe, is ran by committee. It's ran by a whole bunch of executive producers.
They need someone to figurehead it, to give it a style.
So, I think, in terms of DC, they need to have someone like Jeff Johns, but give Jeff Johns, like, more of the power.
So who'd be the Jeff Johns of the Dark verse?
Dark universe. I'm trying to find his name, because I had this name.
Okay.
And...
Because I would say a good competitor would be Tim Burton.
See, I don't like Tim Burton. I think he hasn't brought it for a while.
Yeah.
It's just been kind of...
He's good at misfits, though. That's the thing. He's good with misfits.
Yeah, but...
Other people that could be good at it is the guy who did District 9. He might be...
I know who you're talking about. Blomkamp.
Yeah.
No.
Or from that side of things, you could try and lean into Peter Jackson. Or, dare I say, Del Toro. But he'll never do it because he's too busy.
I put Josh Boone. That's who I put.
Who's Josh Boone?
He did Fallen Our Stars, and he's the director on the upcoming X-Men New Mutants.
Okay.
Which he said is going to be like a horror movie.
Interesting.
And he's got a whole horror movie background. So if you want somebody that understands horror and understands big franchises, go with someone that can do both.
Okay.
So that's who I'd put. I think
it's exhausting, this mummy stuff, because it's just... I like them because they're classic literature characters and they're classic stories, but they're telling them wrong. It's... If you want the best version of a dark verse thing, might not necessarily use the old creatures, but take the old creatures and tell them in a new way, like games. Stories like The Dark Descent or Amnesia: The Dark Descent would be a really good version of the Mummy, because the creature is basically some sort of mummy-esque thing in that. That would be a cool story to tell, instead of, well, Jekyll and Hyde, technically. There's things like... And there are a series of new games like The Evil Within... Is it Outlast? These stories could all technically fit in a similar world. I'd rather have a video game movie verse than, the Bethesda verse, for example.
Yeah.
Fallout, Skyrim, you can't put them together in the same world, I know, but shut up. I'd rather see that become a thing than people savagely killing royalty-free stories again and again and again. Yeah. The only thing that's missing from this is Sherlock Holmes. Oh my God, that's what's going to bring them together, isn't it?
Yeah. On that morbid note, let's move on to... Over the weekend, Marvel dropped their first teaser trailer and their first poster for the Black Panther.
Yes.
In it, we get a good idea of the tone of the film and the feel of the direction that they are going for. The film is set for a February 2018 release. What did you make of the trailer? I
liked it. The trailer helps. I think the trailer shows exactly where they're going from, and I think Marvel's starting to hit almost a genius point of how to tell films in universe. Because Black Panther is a character we've already been established without having a film, which means you can get to the good bits for the whole film. The idea of, okay, that story arc that makes him the fun character you want to watch happened in Civil War. So that means when you get to his film, you can just focus on the actual emotional struggle. You can actually deal with that. And I think that's a really fun idea that we can now take on. We can actually watch and enjoy.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm always up for more diversity in film.
Yeah.
And I'm liking the direction they're taking this.
It doesn't feel like a Marvel film. Yes, it is, but I like the science fiction concept.
It looks different. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm liking the fact because one of my problems with quite a lot of the Marvel films is they all kind of have a similar palette.
Yeah, this one looks really colourful. This one
It's like they realised after Guardians of the Galaxy there's more colours than grey. I'm going to get so much hate on for that. But if you look at their palette, it's a really ugly palette.
Yeah,
and with Guardians of the Galaxy, it's just like this massive explosion of colour. And they've explored that with Volume 2. Looks like they're doing that with Thor. You got a little bit of that with Doctor Strange, but it was still kind of muted in some places.
But this is where they did a bit of both to give it its due. I love Doctor Strange as a film. I really wish that this was a Phase 1 film.
Yeah,
because that would have. It's a good film, came out at the wrong time.
Yeah, I had the same thing with Ant-Man. Ant-Man, it looked bright and it looked happy.
And it would have been amazing for Phase 1 film.
It was supposed to be a Phase 1 film.
And just something slowed it down. But with Doctor Strange, they do have a grey palette, but then once magic comes in, you start to see the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And they do, so that's a purposeful, I think, Strange is the point where Marvel have gone, yeah, Phase 2 was a bit grey, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And this is the film that goes, you know what, we're going in its new direction now. Because it's going, grey palette, real life. Oh God, the world is becoming magical. And magical also means we've discovered After Effects.
Yeah, I think I can't ever be really upset with Marvel films. I can nitpick at them, but I think the worst one, I think we can all agree, the worst two in their entire thing are Iron Man 2 and Thor the Dark World.
Yes, it's just
and Iron Man 3 to a certain extent.
Oh, I like Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is if you are a Marvel fan that wants a Christmas film, that's the one you go to. Because if you've got everything in there. It's a cool Marvel film, and it's got a beautiful story that I forgot the director. He does these all the time. Shane Black. It is a really good Shane Black film, and it's because it has everything you want. And my favourite bit is when you just have Tony Stark. This misogynistic drunk man talking to a little kid, and it's just he realises, I'm a terrible person.
I'm a superhero who saved the world, but I'm still a horrible person.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect note to end this part of the story on. So that's it for today. That's it for Splash Page. But stay tuned. We've got the Treasure Hunt coming up, and we've got all of the E3 news. Just so much E3 news.
Yes.
So have fun for that. If you haven't already, check out our Wonder Woman. The link for it is right there. And see you next time.
To the E3 cave. Oh no, I'm really sad if I made that right.